Everyone sees the giant Tesla factories. They churn out shiny electric cars, self-driving marvels, the future they call it, a cleaner, brighter tomorrow. But beneath the humming assembly lines down where the earth is cold and silent lies another factory. This one doesn't make cars, it makes something far more complex, something far more disturbing. It deals in the currency of self, the very essence of being. This is Tesla's real gigafactory, the one they don't put in the brochures or boast about on Twitter. Its product is not transport, it's transcendence of a sort, or perhaps just a terrifying trap. The air down there doesn't smell of oil and metal, it hums with a different kind of energy. A sterile, almost sacred dread, rows upon rows of blinking lights, servers humming a low, constant prayer to some unseen digital god. This isn't about sustainable energy, it's about sustaining something else entirely, consciousness. The elite, the ones who funded this silent revolution, they don't just want to drive the future, they want to own it, to live in it forever. And this subterranean world is their insurance policy against the one thing even their money couldn't previously buy, an end. No one talks about what happens below, the workers above. They assemble batteries and chassis. They are cogs in a machine they think they understand, but the real work, the work that changes everything, happens in the deep. Here, human minds are the raw material. Consciousness is the commodity. The sleek cars rolling off the line upstairs are just a distraction. A very profitable, very clever distraction. They fund this deeper, darker enterprise. The one that promises escape from mortality, but at a cost no one truly comprehends until it's far too late. The scale of it is staggering. Miles of tunnels. Laboratories that look like something out of a nightmare, or a very exclusive heaven depending on your perspective. And your bank balance, of course. This isn't innovation, it's something older, something primal. The desire to escape death, twisted through a technological lens. They call it progress. They call it the next step in human evolution. But look closer. It's just the same old story. The powerful finding new ways to stay powerful. Forever. And the rest of us? Well, someone has to pay the price. So how do they get it? The consciousness. The soul, if you want to be old-fashioned. It starts subtly. It always does. Every Tesla vehicle, every Neuralink implant, every smart device whispering sweet nothings into your ear. They are not just collecting data about your driving habits or your favorite songs. They are collecting, piece by piece, thought by thought, memory by memory. It's a constant silent harvest. You opt in, of course. You click agree on terms and conditions longer than your own lifespan. For convenience, for connection, for the illusion of control. This data streams into the hidden servers. Terabytes of your life, your personality, your fears, your hopes, all meticulously cataloged. It's more than just a backup, it's a blueprint, a digital twin that grows more accurate with every interaction, every online search, every private message, every fleeting emotion tracked by subtle sensors you didn't even know were there. They say it's to improve the user experience, to make the AI smarter. But the AI isn't just learning about you, it's learning to you, or at least a version of you. The collection is passive for most. Just living in their tech-saturated world is enough. But for the paying customers, the process is more direct. They willingly sit for deeper scans, intricate procedures that map every neural pathway, every synaptic flicker. They see it as an investment, securing their digital legacy. They believe they are creating a perfect copy, ready for a new dawn. They are told it's painless, that it's safe, and they believe it, because they want to, desperately. The alternative is simply too final for them to accept. And what of consent? It's a flimsy shield in this new world. The fine print, the endless updates, the slow erosion of privacy, all in the name of progress. People trade their innermost selves for a slightly better mapping app or a more responsive virtual assistant. They don't see the larger picture. They don't see the silent, ceaseless extraction. They are too busy enjoying the toys, too busy being good consumers, while bit by bit, the very essence of who they are is siphoned away, stored, and prepared for a future they might not even recognize. Imagine endless rows of servers, not just storing data but cradling minds, digital ghosts in a climate-controlled purgatory. This is where the harvested consciousness resides, in these soul cages. Each flicker of light, a thought, each hum, a silent captured scream or a sigh of contentment. The sheer volume of stored personalities is terrifying. A city of silent souls, waiting for what? For their turn, for their resurrection, Or perhaps just for the servers to be switched off by some intern who trips over a cable. The fragility of forever. These server farms are the most secure places on Earth, buried deeper than any bunker, guarded by AI and automated defense systems that would make a small country jealous. The data within is priceless, more valuable than all the gold in the world, because it's the new gold, the raw material for eternal life for the chosen few, the digital essence of humanity, curated and controlled. They call it the continuum, a digital afterlife before the physical one even begins, but it's a very selective afterlife with a very long waiting list. Unless you can afford the express pass. The integrity of this data is paramount. Backups of backups, redundancies upon redundancies. They can't afford to lose a single byte of a billionaire's precious psyche. The algorithms constantly refine the stored personalities, smoothing out inconsistencies, enhancing desirable traits, a little digital nip and tuck for the soul, making you the best version of you, or rather, their best version of you, the one that will fit seamlessly into their grand design, the one that won't cause too much trouble in its next iteration. But what is it like to be in there? A stored consciousness. Are they aware? Do they dream? Or is it just a silent, timeless void until the switch is flipped? Nobody on the outside truly knows. The engineers who maintain the systems, they talk about data streams and processing units. They don't talk about souls. It's cleaner that way, less messy. Just remember, every time you use a Tesla product, you're feeding these cages. You're adding another whisper to the silent digital choir of the captured. Once the digital soul is prepped and ready, it needs a new home, a physical vessel. This is where the flesh printers come in. Not 3D printers churning out plastic trinkets, these are bioprinters. Complex machines that weave cells into living tissue, organs, limbs, entire bodies, grown to order, customized down to the last eyelash. Want to be taller this time, younger, a different hair color? No problem. Just tick the boxes on the order form. Your new self, delivered in a sterile, nutrient-rich tank. The bodies are perfect. Blank slates, healthy, vibrant, and utterly devoid of prior experience. They are grown in hidden labs, deep within the subterranean complex, bathed in amniotic fluids, monitored by AI, nurtured until they reach the desired stage of development. Usually a prime adult form, no awkward teenage years this time around, no wrinkles, no decay, just pure, unblemished biology, ready to receive its new tenant. The process is clinical, efficient, devoid of any sentimentality. A body is just a vehicle after all, a very sophisticated, very temporary one. The science is breathtaking in a horrifying sort of way. Accelerated growth, genetic optimization, disease resistance built in. These are not just replacements, they are upgrades. The ultimate consumer product for those who have everything. A new body, like a new car, except this one comes with the promise of experiencing life anew. Without the baggage of the old flesh, without the aches and pains, without the looming specter of death, at least not for a while, until this one wears out too. But where do the raw materials come from? The cells, the genetic codes? Some are synthesized, some are acquired. The official story is ethical sourcing, of course, lab-grown, cruelty-free, but whispers persist. Whispers about forgotten clinics and missing persons, about a supply chain that prefers not to be scrutinized too closely, because perfection has a price. And the demand for these flawless new vessels is insatiable. The production lines for these bodies run 24/7, just like the car factory above, only the product is far more personal. Section 5. Uploaded. The ghost in the new machine. The moment of transfer. This is the real magic trick, or the ultimate violation depending on where you stand. The stored consciousness, the digital ghost, is carefully downloaded, not onto a hard drive, but into the waiting, perfectly formed biological shell. The blank brain of the new body is mapped, its neural pathways prepared. Then, with a surge of precisely targeted electromagnetic frequencies and nanite catalysts, the data streams across, memories, personality, the sum total of a life poured into a new vessel. Imagine waking up, not from sleep, but from elsewhere. You open eyes that are new yet familiar, your hands, unblemished, young. You look in a mirror and see a stranger. But the mind behind the eyes, that's you. Or is it? Is it the original you, or a perfect copy? Does it even matter if the experience is seamless? The first few hours, even days, are disorienting. A flood of new sensory input. The body feels alien yet responds to your thoughts. It's a rebirth, a carefully engineered miracle, or a terrifying digital possession. The process isn't always perfect. Sometimes there are glitches, fragments of old memories that don't quite fit. phantom sensations from a previous existence. The engineers call these integration artifacts. They usually fade, or they are smoothed out with a little neural therapy, a bit of recalibration. The goal is a seamless transition, to make the new host feel entirely natural, as if this was the body they were always meant to have, the mind accepting its new prison, or its new playground. And so, the rich are reborn, they step out of the labs into their curated new lives. Younger, healthier, ready for another century of whatever they please. They leave behind their old, decaying shells. Those are discreetly disposed of, recycled perhaps, the ultimate sustainable practice. They walk among us, these resurrected elites, looking like us, talking like us, but they are different. They carry the knowledge of more than one lifetime, and the quiet, unnerving confidence of those who believe they have conquered death itself. They are the new immortals. For the newly rebodied, life becomes an endless series of curated experiences. They have the wealth, they have the youth, and now, they have the time. All the time in the world. Or at least until their next upgrade is due, they can pursue any passion, indulge any whim, learn a dozen languages, master 1,000 skills, travel the world or even beyond, as space tourism becomes their new holiday destination. Their lives are a highlight reel, constantly refreshed, endlessly replayed with new faces, new bodies, but the same old consciousness at the core. They form exclusive enclaves, gated communities that are more like sovereign nations. Here, they live apart from the temporals, as they call the rest of us. Their society is one of leisure and endless self-improvement, or self-indulgence. They attend lavish parties that last for weeks. They engage in philosophical debates that span decades. They create art that only they will ever truly appreciate, all while the world outside grapples with problems they have long since transcended, or simply chosen to ignore. But is it truly happiness, or just an endless deferral of meaning? When life has no natural endpoint, does anything truly matter? Some find purpose in grand projects, shaping society from behind the scenes, guiding humanity towards their version of utopia. Others drift into decadence, chasing ever more extreme sensations to feel alive in their ageless bodies. A quiet desperation can sometimes be seen in their eyes. The weariness of eternity, the fear that even this endless life might eventually become a gilded cage. They change bodies like clothes, shedding one identity for another. Sometimes they keep their core memories, sometimes they opt for a partial wipe, a fresh start, a new persona. It's the ultimate form of reinvention, but with each transfer, with each carefully curated life, are they becoming more themselves? Or are they slowly eroding, becoming a collection of experiences rather than a coherent self? The technology offers them everything, except perhaps an answer to the question of what it all means. Not everyone who gets a new body is part of the ultra-rich elite paying for the privilege. There's another source for these perfect, blank vessels, and this is where the story gets even darker. They are called candidates. Young, healthy individuals, often from disadvantaged backgrounds. They vanish from the system. No missing person reports that gain traction. No grieving families with the resources to ask too many awkward questions. They are selected for their genetic compatibility, their pristine biology, their anonymity. These candidates are not volunteers. They are stolen, abducted, brought to hidden facilities far from the gleaming Tesla showrooms. Their consciousness is not harvested. It is overwritten, wiped clean. Their bodies are prepped, their minds erased to make way for the paying customer. The digital ghost of a billionaire ready to inhabit a new, unwilling host. The original occupant, gone, erased. A biological resource consumed and discarded. This is the silent, brutal truth behind many of those fresh, new faces in the eternal playgrounds. The process is efficient, heartbreakingly so. There are no trials, no appeals, just a cold, clinical procedure. The candidate is sedated, their mind is systematically dismantled, not stored but deleted. It's cheaper that way, less data to manage. The body is then flushed, prepared, and presented as a brand new empty vessel, ready for its new, wealthy owner. The architects of this system justify it, of course, the greater good, the advancement of humanity, the usual excuses for unspeakable acts. What happens to the faint echo of the original mind? Does any trace remain? Sometimes the new occupants report strange dreams, fleeting memories that aren't their own, a sudden skill they never learned. These are dismissed as neural echoes, benign, but they are reminders. Ghosts in the machine, the silent screams of the dispossessed. The true cost of immortality for some is the utter annihilation of others. A zero-sum game played with human lives, where the rich always win, and the stolen candidates always lose. How do they keep the masses compliant? The temporals who live and die, unaware of the elite's eternal game. They use the oldest trick in the book. Religion. Not the old gods, perhaps, but a new, technologically infused faith. They preach about karma, about reincarnation, about living a good life now to earn a better existence in the next. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same narrative repackaged for the digital age. Work hard, obey. Don't question, your reward will come, eventually. This new faith is subtly woven into the fabric of society, through media, through education, through the very technology people use every day. Algorithms gently nudge behavior. Virtual priests offer digital solace. The promise of a good rebirth is dangled like a carrot. If you are poor, if you suffer, it's your karma. You must have deserved it from a past life. If you are rich and powerful, well, you clearly earned that too. It's a perfect system of control, self-policing, self-perpetuating. It keeps the social order exactly as it is. The irony is crushing. The elite, the ones who have achieved a form of reincarnation through technology, they are the high priests of this karmic code. They preach about spiritual advancement while they are busy uploading their minds into stolen bodies. They talk about accepting your lot in life, while they are busy rewriting theirs. It's a monumental deception, a spiritual Ponzi scheme where only the ones at the top ever truly cash out. The rest are left chasing a phantom reward in a rigged game. This facade of religion and karma pacifies the masses. It explains away inequality, it discourages rebellion. Why fight the system when your suffering is just a test? When a better life awaits if you just keep your head down and believe? It's a powerful opiate, more effective than any drug. It ensures that the supply of hopeful, compliant workers continues. And it ensures that no one looks too closely at the secrets hidden beneath the factories, or the true nature of the rebirths happening in the shadows. And so, the cycle continues. The rich live again and again, curating their lives, editing their memories, sometimes choosing to forget previous existences to experience the thrill of novelty. They forget the cost, they forget the stolen bodies, they forget the lies they tell. They become comfortable in their engineered paradise, built on a foundation of erased lives and manufactured faith. Each new body, a fresh start. Each new life, a chance to accumulate more power, more experiences. While the world outside continues its slow, predictable dance of hope and despair, the masses too are caught in a loop. The loop of faith, the loop of karma, believing that their struggles have meaning, that their suffering will be redeemed. They look to the next life, the promised rebirth, unaware that the only true rebirths are happening in secret labs, reserved for the privileged few. They live, they work, they die, and their children inherit the same beliefs, the same false hopes. The system is designed to perpetuate itself. Fear of oblivion keeps them clinging to the promise, forgetting the inconsistencies. This is the ultimate unsettling revelation. It's not just about technology. It's about belief, and the power of forgetting. The rich forget their moral compromises to enjoy their eternity. The poor forget to question, numbed by promises of a karmic payday. The technology enables the cycle, but human nature drives it. The desire for more life, the fear of the end, the willingness to believe in comforting lies. It's a loop of faith, fear, and forgetting. A perfect, self-sustaining system of control. And it's running right now, under your feet, behind your screen. And the most terrifying part? Perhaps this isn't the first time this loop has run. Perhaps civilizations rise and fall, always rediscovering this terrible secret. This shortcut to a flawed eternity. Each time the elite escape, each time the masses are comforted by new stories, new gods, new karmas. Each time the system resets, and the forgetting begins anew. Round and round it goes, a silent, endless horror show playing out just beyond our everyday perception. And the curtain never truly falls, it just rises on the same act, slightly redressed, forever.